How we doing there, boys and girls? Manthieus here, and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk about a little add-on, or it's partly an add-on and partly a web-based platform that's designed for those out there that just enjoy collecting stuff. If you're anything like me, you'll have used all the things to a borderline scary amount. All the things is quite well known as an add-on now. But there comes a point where tracking stuff on your alts becomes a lot more difficult. We've had a few add-ons like Altaholic and this sort of stuff that allow you to keep track quite easily what you've collected on other characters, currencies that those other characters might have, their progress through what key have they done for the week. You know, there's a bunch of add-ons that do this sort of stuff, but the problem I tend to find is those add-ons in game are really quite power intensive. They're quite heavy add-ons. They're going to slow down your load times. They have annoying interfaces that keep popping up and keep breaking every time we have patches. So I found a solution. It goes by the name of WoWThing. Very descriptive name, I know. This was pointed out to me on stream multiple times as something to check out, and I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention today. So it's a cool little thing to go alongside your World of Warcraft adventures. What is it though? What does it look like? What does it do? Well, it does a whole bunch of stuff. Let's bring it in here. In fact, actually, before we display it off in too much, let's show you what it is on CurseForge. It's just a regular add-on. It's called WoWThing Collector. Very, very small amount of downloads considering just how put together this little add-on is. It doesn't do much of anything in-game. The in-game add-on is purely for sort of scraping your account and keeping track of what's been going on. Then there's a web application. There's a website that keeps track of everything there. This is actually really useful for those of us that have like a second monitor, third monitor even. Just you can keep it up on the screen. You can see what's going on. You can track things nice and easily. Often it's a little bit easier sometimes than having big on-screen in-game overlays covering things that you don't want it to. But it can track a whole bunch of stuff. Namely, an important one for us goblins out there is the amount of gold that each of our characters have. You know, just silly things like playtime, how much XP, and more importantly, how much rested experience those characters have. Good for if you're trying to level up alts and you're trying to do it efficiently. A whole bunch of stuff. Some of the more interesting things, though, is you're going to be like the status. Have you killed the world boss on character X, Y, and Z this week? What is your Mythic Plus progress on X, Y, and Z character this week? It tracks all of this. It's really, really cool, and a couple of other bonus things that I wanted to point out. So WoWThing Collector is the name of the add-on itself. Like I said, in-game it does very little, but it comes to light when you jump onto their website, wowthing.org. This is what mine looks like, wowthing.org. You log in, you make yourself an account, and you synchronize it up with your battle.net account, and it will populate all this data. Now, the way that this works is it actually takes a little bit of information from your battle.net, I believe, to track some of the basic things. There are a whole bunch of stuff that it can't very easily have access to through the Blizzard API, but it is stored locally on your own desktop, your computer. So there is actually a little module that is very, very, very worthwhile adding on. This is not mandatory, but it's a cool thing to have, and it's the WoWThing Sync. What this will do is ultimately keep an eye on the file that is created on your computer by the game, which holds a lot more information than the Blizzard servers hold themselves, and it updates that way. It's just a simple solution to keep everything up to date. But that aside, let's see what it does then. So it tracks all of your characters. You can see I've gone through a bunch of my characters, logged on. Yeah, you got to do some basic stuff. You got to log on to the character. You got to like open your bags. And then it will check things like your professions that you've got. It will check how much gold you've got. It will check what covenant you're in, what renown you've got, your scary amounts of playtime, all of this sort of stuff. It tracks a whole bunch of stuff. It's really quite difficult to sort of showcase and promote this because it does so many things. It spins loads of plates at once and can offer many, many little bits of information, some which will be important to some, and some that will just, you know, be nothing to somebody else. My favourites, though. Let's talk about my favourites. What things do I really, really like about this add-on? Well, the first one, it tracks my gold. Love that. Tracks all the gold on all my characters across all of my servers and just gives me a nice big grand total of gold. Trade Skill Master does this, sort of, but Trade Skill Master tends to track it based on individual servers, or sorry, realms, and so you then still have to do a little bit of maths, especially if you play on multiple realms, to, well, just how much gold do I have? This puts it all in one place, gives you a nice big grand total, and it's quite cool to see exactly who's got what gold and where. So that's a nice little cool thing for me. I enjoy that, definitely. If you are a collector, I did start this video out by promoting it for the purpose of collectors. There's a really cool one. If you happen to have a little bit of gold across multiple different realms, not an uncommon situation to have, you can click on auctions, and it has 3 little tabs here that are really, really powerful. Missing mounts, missing pets, and missing toys. Anything that you do not have within your collection, it can showcase these to you, but more importantly, it tells you where they're available and how much they're available for. This is really cool, because, you know, if you've spent time making a bunch of gold and you want to use some of it to complete your collection, you might as well be completing your collection at the cheapest price. Now, for me personally, I only really have a sizable amount of gold on 2 different realms, Sylvanas and Tarren Mill. So I've limited the sort of the view of this a little bit to only show me items on those 2 realms. But as you can see, there's a bunch of different choices here. A pineapple lounge cushion, apparently I could pick that up for 80,000 gold on my home realm of Sylvanas. Yet if I wanted to buy it on Tarren Mill, it's over 150,000 gold. So, you know, sensible me would go and buy it over on the Sylvanas realm rather than Tarren Mill. And this can mean that you can chip away at your collection at a much, much more reasonable value. One of my goals towards the end of Shadowlands, I've not really done this too much, is to take the big pile of gold that I've amassed on these couple of servers throughout Shadowlands and to spread it out a little bit. Spreading it out a little bit, maybe giving some gold to some characters and then guild transferring them over is a nice simple way to transfer some gold about. And having access to a certain amount of gold on more realms really, really, really does help when it comes to completing collections. Toys is obviously only one aspect of that. It can also search up missing pets and missing mounts that you might need. I don't think there's many missing mounts for me that can actually be purchased. In fact, the only one here is a woolly white rhino of an old school trading card game mount, which is very rare and very, very expensive. So yeah, I probably won't be doing that. Transmog collectors though, this can also really help you with transmog collectors. It can showcase you exactly where you need to go to pick up the transmog you may not still have. All the things kind of does this. But what it doesn't do a great job of, well, let me put it this way. All the things is almost a data overload. I mean, the amount of things it shows on this list, it's just everything. If you want to just nestle down purely into transmog and collect some transmog appearances that you don't have, it's much easier to do here. If you're like me and don't particularly play on many different classes and don't want to collect cloth, mail, leather, plate, you know, if you don't want to collect everything, you do have the option to go into the settings, and there is one of the options, the transmog options here, you can unfilter any of the classes which you're not particularly trying to collect. You know, if you play a paladin and you only really want the plate transmog, then it doesn't really make too much of a benefit to you to be able to see exactly what cloth items you're missing. So you can customize this to your liking, but it's really quite cool if you want to go out and just, I know, tell you what, I've got the afternoon, I want to collect up some transmog. I don't particularly want to farm Shadowland dungeons, but maybe I want to go, I don't know, all the way back. I really enjoy the Wrath of the Lich King dungeons. Which ones can I go through? What can I get from them? Halls of Lightning I could go through, and I've collected a few bits and pieces, but I'm still missing some. What do I need? Which bosses do I need to focus? I think this layout is really clean, really tidy, especially if you just get rid of everything that you've already collected. If you get rid of everything that you've already collected, you can very quickly see, right, if I go to Halls of Lightning, I need to kill this dude, and he has the chance of dropping these items for me. Great, excellent, really smooth, really nice little, you know, for the data lovers out there. I know if you enjoy making gold in World of Warcraft, then this sort of thing, it tends to be the natural progression. I tend to find an awful lot of collectors also make gold, and a lot of gold makers also have quite a collection. They tend to go hand in hand. It's hard to complete a collection without a lot of gold and vice versa, so there is some synergies there. But that's all I've got for you today, boys and girls. WoWThing.org is the website that you'll need, along with the little add-on to go with it. And like I said, it's if you want this all to synchronize nicely, for reference, this WoWThing sync just very, very quickly. It's basically a small little Windows application that runs in the background, very similar to what you'll be used to with the TSM desktop application. It just takes a little bit of information from your computer that it needs, and then it automatically uploads it to the website, so all the data here is, you know, fresh and up to date and all nice and all lovely. But check it out. I've really enjoyed like diving through this and working out what's what. So yeah, let me know what you think of it in the comments down below. You can always come and say hi to us on stream. We have been streaming Diablo Immortal quite aggressively in the last few days, but I'm sure we'll be back to World of Warcraft soon. Check the links in the description for our Twitch. Come say hi on Discord, and if you're a real baller, consider supporting on Patreon. Means I can do this without having to push too many ads or sponsorships and all of that sort of stuff. And, you know, it's all good from there. But anyway, boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll leave you there. Peace.